Good evening and welcome to Colombo. We're here for the game between Sri Lanka and Thailand for the AFC Asian Cup Qualifiers 2027 held in Saudi Arabia. Live pictures from the Racecourse Stadium here in Colombo as Sri Lanka hosts an important game for the host as they walk away with all 3 points to try and keep up with the others in the group. A big game coming up here in Colombo. As you see on our screens, both teams having their final preps ahead of this all-important clash in the AFC Asian Cup Qualifiers Saudi Arabia 2027. All to play for here as a crowd building up this evening here at the Racecourse International Stadium, and plenty of away supporters have come down to Sri Lanka, but surely the home supporters will come in numbers and support this Sri Lankan outfit of a victory here in Colombo. Sri Lanka supporters will watch this game quite closely as they are playing for an important 3 points. We'll take a look at the weather. We're having a slight rain right now here at the stadium. It might drop to just 27 degrees. It was quite hot and humid earlier this morning, but right now, as the heavens have opened up quite slightly, both set of players will hope that the weather gods will be kind to them and will allow both teams to play some good position-based football. Weather will well and surely play a very, very big part in this encounter. Sri Lanka and Thailand, both teams are sitting quite comfortable in that points table, second and third. Sri Lanka in that third position with 3 points away from Thailand. This is the head-to-head results between the two sides. It's been all Thailand. Played 7 games and all 7 games won by Thailand. Sri Lanka yet to win against the 96th ranked team Thailand. So Coach Al-Mutari and his boys will hope that their fortune may change as Sri Lanka will get underway in that column. These are the head-to-head results in the previous 5 meetings between Sri Lanka and Thailand. The latest one this year, earlier this year, on the 25th of March, Thailand in that first match day in the AFC Asian Cup qualification round, where Thailand beat Sri Lanka 1-0. And then way back in 2022, it was a comfortable win for Thailand, 2-0. And then in 2001, it was Thailand who ran past Sri Lanka quite easily, 3-0. And then once again in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, it was Thailand who got the better of Sri Lanka, 4-2. And then way back in 1993, it was Thailand who comprehensively beat Sri Lanka 3-0. It's been all Thailand in the head-to-head clashes between Sri Lanka. So plenty of stakes for the home team. If they are in need of a win, this win will do a whole heap of good. So Thailand, the away team dressing room prior to this all-important game, it was the visitors will really look to stamp the authority against Sri Lanka in their reverse fixture here in Colombo. Thailand did win at home 1-0 earlier this year. They'll hope that they could repeat that performance up here in Colombo as well. A healthy crowd has turned up for the visitors here at the Racecourse International Stadium in Colombo. They'll hope that Thailand boys will give them a lot of joy as this evening goes on. Thailand team well and surely come into this game as favourites, and they'll surely will want to keep that favourites tagline going deep into this game as well. 90 minutes to play for both teams, plenty for both sides as long as Thailand are concerned as well. We want to get these 3 points and be in a good position at the AFC Asian Cup qualification third round spot in that 2027 campaign up in Saudi Arabia. The Thailand team arriving here at the Racecourse International Stadium in Colombo. Well prepared side. They flew into the country a couple of nights ago. They've had some training sessions. They'll really look to stamp the authority against the home side, Sri Lanka. Thailand team will really want to continue their good run in this campaign. They have just one loss in it. They'll value these 3 points away from here in Colombo, and they'll surely want to do well. We'll had a chat with the head coach of Thailand. Over to you.
Anthony, we had a lot of rain last night, heavy incessant rain. Then what are your thoughts? It's going to be a very hot and humid environment today for the game.
Yeah, I think whatever the conditions are, we just need to make sure that we have no excuses today. We're going to embrace the conditions, and that's the message that we've been impressing on the players and the staff. So we're ready for whatever conditions.
Okay, thank you and all the very best.
Just as we spoke about the conditions coming into play, I think Thailand team will really need to adjust into these conditions. It was quite hot and humid earlier this afternoon. But the heavens have opened up here, and a healthy Thailand crowd present here at the Racecourse International Stadium as well. The home side dressing room. Big news from the Sri Lankan camp is Captain Sujan Pereira will be out of this clash due to illness. So will be a very interesting call from Coach Al-Muthari, who will stand in between the sticks for the home team. Sri Lanka will really hope that this team will turn out and put up a performance that could really give them all 3 points. Previous home game was against Turkmenistan, where Sri Lanka walked away with the win, and the whole of Sri Lanka will hope that they could repeat heroics from that evening. Sri Lanka team will really hope that their fortunes will change in this head-to-head clash between Thailand, but plenty will be on this team's hands as Coach Al-Muthari and his team came to the stadium looking a confident outfit, and they looked quite locked in as well. Will really want to stamp the authority here at home and try and get all 3 points and walk away with the win. Plenty at stake for both teams, but Sri Lanka, the home side, will really want to put some pressure on the away team and try and get this win. An important win in this campaign, where they'll really need to stamp the authority quite early on against the much favoured Thailand outfit here in Colombo.
Drastically within the past half an hour. There was a steady downpour of rain, but which has now thankfully eased out a little bit, but you're going to have to contend with soggy underfoot conditions as well, so that's going to be interesting.
We have Coach Al-Mutari down there with the interview. Over to you.
Abdullah, a big game today, a must win for Sri Lanka. Hot and humid conditions. What are your thoughts?
It will be good for us. It's not a big deal, the weather. We are used for every weather. We train under raining with hot weather, so I think it will not be issue for us. For the match, I said to the players, if we have a chance to qualify to Asia Cup, we need to fight for our chances until the last breath. So I think today it will be a very difficult match between both teams.
Thank you and all the very best.
That's the goal for Sri Lanka, to fight it out with a lot of passion. And as you see, the stands filling up here at the Racecourse International Stadium. We'll go into a commercial break and be back with more news on the other side.
Get ready for an electrifying T20I Tri-Series. Witness Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe battle it out in Pakistan's iconic stadiums, Rawalpindi and Lahore. Feel the roar of the crowd, the power of the sixes and the drama of every wicket. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD. Exclusively on Dialog Television, channel number 62 and 126. Get ready, cricket fans! The thrill of international cricket returns as Sri Lanka tours Pakistan for an exciting 3-match ODI series. Mark your calendars for November 11th, 13th and 15th at the iconic Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. Watch every moment live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD. Exclusively available on Dialog Television, channel number 62 and 126. Tune in, cheer loud and experience the excitement live with the Papare and Dialog Television.
උද්‍යෝගිමත් T20 තරගාවලියකට ඔබ සූදානම්ද? පාකිස්තානය, ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ සිම්බාබ්වේ දේශය අතර තුන් කොන් සංග්‍රාමය.
Back to Racecourse for Asian Cup Saudi Arabia 2027 qualifiers. Sri Lanka playing host to Thailand here at the Racecourse is going to be a very interesting one, like Restaurant mentioned earlier, because both the teams are going to want to take the win. They're not going to be satisfied with the draw. They are going to go all out hunting for that big W. Thailand, of course, with an unblemished record against Sri Lanka, will want to make sure that they continue doing that, and Sri Lanka desperate for that qualification. They want to make sure that they finish in the top 2 in the group in order to try and qualify for that all-important Asia Cup in 2027. The crowds, like we mentioned earlier, are building up for the home front, but oh my, what a visiting crowd here at the Racecourse. Thailand have come out in numbers and they're vocal. They are going to make sure and they're going to try to be the loudest spectators throughout the game, and what that will give that visiting team when it comes to energy, Restaurant, we will have to wait and see.
Indeed, visiting team crowd well and surely here in numbers, and they'll make their voice felt here at the Racecourse International Stadium. That will be a big boost for the visiting team as well, seeing that much of numbers up in the stands. Hopefully the home side crowd can outnumber them well and surely can do that, and Sri Lankan home crowd as well will hope that their team will give them plenty of joyful moments in the 90 minutes to follow. Plenty to play for both sides, as I mentioned on plenty of occasions. The crowd is building up nice and steadily here in this Tuesday evening. It's all to play for, very eagerly waiting on a crowd here in Colombo as Sri Lanka hosts Thailand. And as we were talking about how much of noise they would make during this game, and they are already beginning to make their voices being felt.
Oh, they've been making their voices felt for the past half an hour, Rishwan. All while the team was warming up, they were warming up too, getting through their rhymes and making sure that they are the loudest spectators. It's going to be a very interesting one, because they will feel like it's a foregone conclusion that their team takes this one because they have an unblemished record. But away games are always tricky, and home weather can be the greatest leveler. So Sri Lanka, the host team, will be banking on the fact that they know the surface better, and they will want to make sure that they put their best foot forward. Thailand fixtures and results of the competition started off with a very good win, morale boosting win for them against Sri Lanka, 1-0, and going on to get a big win against Turkmenistan.
Indeed, they went down to Turkmenistan 3-1 away from home, and then again at home they beat Chinese Taipei 2-0, and then they went on to beat Chinese Taipei quite comprehensively in the reverse fixture 6-1. Once again, that game was away from home for them, so their away record has been 50%. There's 2 games played, 1 game won, and 1 game lost. So will be very interesting how Thailand will field out in this all-important game against Sri Lanka here in Colombo. So plenty to play for Sri Lanka as well. As we take a look at the fixtures and results for Sri Lanka, they did play Thailand in their first match day in this campaign. They went down to Thailand away from home 1-0, and an impressive result against Chinese Taipei here at Colombo, 3-1, and then Turkmenistan also just last month they went on to win thanks to Leon Pereira's goal. They won that game 1-0, and then the reverse fixture against Turkmenistan, with they went down fighting 2-1, as they will really need a win here against Thailand here in Colombo to stay alive in this AFC Asian Cup qualification third round. Plenty to play for Sri Lanka. Supporters have come in numbers, and they will surely rally around the side here at the Racecourse International Stadium. It's weather that will surely make a big impact in this game. As you take a look at the points table of this AFC Asian Cup qualifiers, it's Turkmenistan sitting right at the top, even though after losing to Sri Lanka in one game, that just one solitary loss came against Sri Lanka here in Colombo, and then Thailand as well lost to Turkmenistan away from home, as both Thailand and Turkmenistan sit on 9 points. Sri Lanka sitting at third with 2 losses and 2 wins in this campaign. 2 wins coming against Chinese Taipei here in Colombo, and against Turkmenistan as well here in Colombo. So for Sri Lanka, their home record has been 100% in this campaign, and the big question will be, can they continue their good record here in Colombo and get another 3 points and make this Group D all more interesting heading into that final match day in 2026. Chinese Taipei, on the other hand, have had a tough outing in the campaign. 4 games out of 4, they haven't been able to get any points, but they will play Turkmenistan as well this evening, and they'll hope that their fortunes may change, but it will be very tough for Chinese Taipei. Colombo in readiness for this all-important battle between Thailand and Sri Lanka. The crowd has built up here, and a very healthy crowd here, being a Tuesday evening. as Sri Lanka hosts Thailand in the AFC Asian Cup qualification round. Pot game for the home side, but for the away side as well, they'll need all 3 points, because just the group winners will go through to the AFC Asian Cup 2027 held in Saudi Arabia. Sri Lanka flags flying high here at the Racecourse International Stadium. It'll all come down to the performance in the pitch. And the weather is nicely just cooling here in Colombo. It was hot and humid a couple of hours ago, but the wind has just picked up that bit. But players will enjoy this weather condition, Sudarshana, coming to this important game, and that 90 minutes will surely pay dividends.
Well, you're very generous when you say it's only picked up a tad bit. There is quite a bit of wind going across the ground, which might affect the passing of the players as well. So that's going to be very interesting. But both the fans will want the teams to give it their all as the flags come out.
You can hear that roar here in Colombo, and both set of supporters will be in loud voice in the next 90 minutes or so. It's Sri Lanka hosting Thailand. They played each other in 7 occasions. It's been all Thailand in the head-to-head tally, but a very impressive away contingent present here at the Racecourse Stadium in Colombo. Plenty of Thailand supporters will really want their team to stamp the authority here in Colombo.
The Thai contingent loud and proud and will be backing their team, and they will want to make sure they go back home with a big win here from Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankan fans eagerly looking on. They're backing their team to do and finish this competition in the best possible scenario in years.
Sudarshana, it's a big evening here in Colombo as we head into this Asia Cup qualifying round encounter between Sri Lanka and Thailand. Of course, these teams have played each other before in Thailand, in Bangkok, and this is the return fixture in Colombo. But given the situation on the points table, an all-important battle for the local side and a fantastic opportunity for them to make football history in Sri Lanka. But a mountain of challenges awaits as they take on a team ranked nearly 100 rankings above them, with their captains sitting on the bench through illness, as we now get ready for the national anthems. And with the roar of that crowd, all things are set and ready for kickoff as the teams with the final round of introductions here on the pitch. Jeremy Pereira there had a less than ideal debut. He's going to be looking forward to setting up the midfield and leaving his mark on this game and really stamping his claim for that starting spot for the Sri Lanka national team. Claudio Kamanek wearing the captain's armband in the absence of Sujan Pereira, who is replaced by Kavish Fernando in goal. Fernando, of course, has played at the highest level before, but this is still going to be a daunting task for him. And in the backdrop of what is a gloomy Colombo, we are going to have a look now at the Thailand lineup. In particular, 4-4-2 seems to be the order of the day. Songkrasin playing up front in a two-man attack, followed by a four-man midfield anchored by Bunmathan and Yu Yen. Ratri on the right as well, and a four-man defense in front of Kamai playing their normal formation. And it's going to be interesting to see how much of the ball they hold on to and how they manage to navigate through the Sri Lankan press as we look at the coin toss. Songkrasin in the number 18 shirt, playing his football at Pathum United, with Claudio Kamanek, of course, playing in Bundesliga 2. It's his first time captaining his country. It's going to be an interesting battle with a number of expat players playing for both teams as well, as we now have a look at the Sri Lanka lineup.
Indeed, big news coming in from the Sri Lankan camp is skipper Sujan Pereira out due to illness. Kavisha Fernando comes in goal for Sri Lanka, with Claudio Kamanet will don the captain's armband, and he will partner up with Jason ThePapare in the defense. And playing in that right back position will be Rajendram, who has always been trusted. Zai Addis will play in that left back position, and in the midfield it will be Raja Mohan Kelly, Leon Pereira and Jeremy Pereira, who had a brief debut in that game against Turkmenistan last month around. And playing up front together with De Silva and Durant, who will really look to try and run at this Thailand defense. Plenty to play for, and big news is that Wade Decker and Wasim Razik will start from the bench and surely will play some part in this all-important clash against Thailand here in Colombo.
They're going to be interesting when those two players come onto the field, but Sri Lanka will be hoping that their starters will finish the job for them. They will need an explosive start with this Thai team if they can get their height advantage early in the game. That's going to be a factor that they will try to exploit early in the game, Sri Lanka.
Absolutely, as we have one final look at the clock. Saleh Youssef blowing the whistle today, ably assisted by Ali Rashid and Yasser Sabel, all from the United Arab Emirates. As we wait for kickoff, Sri Lanka in the white strip, Thailand playing in their black strip. Coach Al Mutairi, he's masterminded a few strategic wins so far, but here is an opportunity to really stake his claim.
It's Thailand who kick things off as Sri Lanka looking to press high and conceding a free kick quite early on. Thailand looking to just settle things around.
Sri Lanka, interestingly, deciding also to rest Wasim Razik, the veteran striker. He's been at the forefront of this expat player project from the Sri Lanka Football Federation and has been a mainstay in the Sri Lanka national team, but looks like, given the nature of the challenge at hand, Sudarshana, that Sri Lanka has opted for the two pacey attackers, Sam Durant and Dylan De Silva, to lead the line. Neither of them are naturally strikers, both naturally wingers. Dylan De Silva in particular playing that left wing for Tamworth in England, but Wasim Razik seems to have been sacrificed in order for a tactical change.
Absolutely, I think That's an interesting one as well, especially given the fact that Thailand likes to play with pace, with short passes around them. Try and disrupt them. You're going to need pace, and that's what you get with De Silva and Duran.
Indeed, the finishing abilities from De Silva and Durant will have to be a pinpoint. Chances may not come easily against this favoured Thailand outfit, but whenever it does, Sri Lanka will have to find the back of the net. Thailand with the first throw in this game. We've quite often seen Thailand playing that short pass position based football. They look to continue that, but with conditions like this here in Colombo, we had some brief showers prior to the game and last evening as well, heavy showers. So those conditions will surely come into play as the game progresses. Thailand pressing this Sri Lankan attack, not letting them settle into this game will really put Sri Lanka in the back foot. Sayadis with the throw-in, scanning his options. Nevertheless, gives it out to Rajamohan. Rajamohan loses possession. Once again, Thailand. Beautiful passage of play now. Plenty of white shirts dropping back in quick time. Skipper keeping the ball with him. Jeremy Pereira trying to go for that tackle. But good turn. Rajendram really being put into the test down this right wing. The skipper gets his shot out, but ThePapare once again in the back like a rock for Sri Lanka. We did see an impressive performance from Jason ThePapare last time out here in Colombo against Turkmenistan. Sri Lanka will hope that he will keep up his form in this important game against Thailand as well. Thailand now. Good position-based football, but they just lose position as we speak. Through ball being played to De Silva down the left wing. Not much of support, but Durant just couldn't get there on time. Some good early signs of attack from the Sri Lankan attacking outfit.
What an opportunity gone to waste for Sri Lanka, because Dylan De Silva, despite putting in that massive run, had the good sense to cross it across. But Durant just not having the pace to attack that ball. Opportunity for Sri Lanka. Can they try and capitalize from here? But Thailand will know they were just about to try and create something on the opposite end of the field.
Absolutely. Sri Lanka stuck between wanting to press high and being pegged back by the Thai attack early on. And in Sam Durant's defense, I think, Sudarshana, there was a little too much on it, and he was making a lung-bursting run down the middle. So a bit of a speculative one there, but Thailand continues to have an opportunity, but nothing doing. Kavish Fernando decides not to come out for that one. Songkrasin unable to keep the ball within the bounds of play early doors. Thailand have created more opportunities. They've put more pressure in the Sri Lankan box, but it looks like Sri Lanka is opting for a very low block-esque defensive strategy, looking to catch Thailand on the break. They've narrowed that midfield with Leon Pereira sitting there as well. He's quite a workhorse in there as well. Garrett Kelly dropping back almost into a centre-back position so far when Sri Lanka has the ball and playing out the back. So it is interesting because it is a deviation from how Sri Lanka has played the other games during the course of this competition so far.
On the other hand, Thailand have really created the opportunity using the width of the field. They've caught the Sri Lankan defense napping when they use the width to attack.
Okay, now once again Thailand, they've been bossing position in this opening 6 minutes or so A shot from range and what a goal to break the deadlock here for the away team. And it's Thailand who draw first blood.
What an absolute screamer from Thailand. Absolute top stuff. No, it's not snowing here in Sri Lanka, but celebrations are going up at the racecourse stands. Thailand visitors jubilant, and why shouldn't they be? That was a screamer 6.5 minutes into this game, and take a look at this one. Judged to perfection. Goalie had absolutely nothing he could do to it.
Absolutely not. Kavish Fernando, outstretched arm. Thanawat there, picks it up. And maybe Raj Mohan could have done a little more to stick with his man. Leon Pereira trying to close down the angle, but no mistake there. Maybe a little more persistence by Raj Mohan would have put the defense off, the attacker off as well. But Thailand now in front.
Indeed, in front in some fashion. Absolutely caught off guard the Sri Lankan defense. A rocket of a shot outside that box. Absolutely gave no chance for Kavish Fernando, who's getting his first start in this campaign. And he will really have to feel for that young man. Sri Lanka will well and surely miss out on their captain Sujan Pereira in goal, but we cannot say a setback for Kavish Fernando. He'll need to still stay in put as he gets his first touch in the game. And it's a matter of just gaining back some confidence for Fernando in goal. He couldn't have done anything for that shot. It was that good. Now Sri Lanka quite early on backpedaling. And Coach Al-Mutari will have to rethink his tactics in early stages of this first half.
Important that Sri Lanka is composed here. The last thing they want is Thailand doubling their lead. They need to be able to try and hold on to possession a little longer, build up the confidence. And once in the last quarter of the field, then try and be creative. They will want a feeler for the football. You cannot let Thailand run away with possession and then try to put pressure on them. Reshwan, they did manage to put pressure one time in this game through a counter-attack. So possession-based football is going to be important to try and challenge this Thailand side.
Sudarshan, I think what's very important is how are the Sri Lankan team going to react, given the fact that they have gone a goal behind very early doors. This hasn't happened over the last number of fixtures that they've played. And I think it is a challenge, particularly when they've been at home. Apart from the games against the Maldives, they've managed to break the deadlock early on, or they managed to break the deadlock first, as Thailand now with yet another wave of attack with Burirat down this right flank, spreading out the play. Zahiadis manages to win a foul on the far side, but as we were saying, the mentality and the mental factor in terms of how they will respond to this game is very important. It is very key, because Thailand now have a goal in front. They're going to be managing this game a little more differently, and Sri Lanka need to chase a goal to get level. A win is the only result that is going to serve them of any interest. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how it kind of plays out. Garrett Kelly back in this almost centre-back-esque role and hoiking it up to the front. And again, it goes back to it. Sri Lanka doesn't really have the height advantage against most of these Thai players as well. Most of them playing at a very high level in the Thai Premier League, and some even in the Malaysian Premier League as well. Just a very cheap loss of the ball, and this is what now there needs to be some attention to in terms of setting into that rhythm of play, setting into those patterns of play, doing what they are good at, nicking the ball on the halfway line and and going on with those waves of attack. And the team still hasn't settled, and it is something they must focus on doing in the next 5 minutes. Take it slow. It's only a 10-minute-old game, as now Zahir Adis with an opportunity to break down this left flank. He puts the ball in, way too much on it, an absolute waste of an effort from Hari Zahir Adis. But that is the composure that they need, and just one or two attacks like that and they'll build that composure.
There's absolutely, I think, Deshaun, like you mentioned, what they need to try and understand is, yes, that's a wasted opportunity, but now go push with all force. You cannot relax just because you gave possession away, and that's something Sri Lanka will have to do with one goal against them. Thailand, like you mentioned, are going to look to capitalize. They are 1-0 up in this game, and they can try and manage at the back, but it's Sri Lanka who will have to chase.
Indeed, and talking about the weather factor as well, it's not that normal Colombo weather out here. It's much cooler thanks to those slight rain prior to kickoff, because that weather factor did play for Sri Lanka as well as in that 2 friendly games against Maldives here. It's quite hot and humid. Found it quite difficult because plenty of these players play in the Europe. Now Dylan De Silva trying to get past that defense of Thailand. Wins a throw in the process. Rajendram scanning his options. Gives it out to Durant. Durant back to Rajendram. Durant gives it all the way back to Zahir Adis. Not the best of passes, as Sri Lanka have been pushed back once again. I think Sri Lanka doing the right thing, just settling and just keeping that position, and look to just pounce on it and try and catch this defense napping. Good move from Rajendram, and that will be a free kick in favor of Sri Lanka coming up. And now Sri Lanka will want all their tall lads in that penalty box.
Clumsy tackle there by Nicholas Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen, of course, with all that experience playing in Bundesliga too, taking on a man who has played in a number of Premier League academies in Queen's Park Rangers as well. So now is an opportunity now. Raj Mohan, he has quite the foot on him and he's able to swing one in. They need to get Kamenek, Garrett Kelly and the likes on the edge of this one. Not the tallest wall in the world, but not a very good ball into the box from Raj Mohan as well, and a silly foul, I think, by Jeremy Pereira, if I'm not mistaken.
After getting a set piece in a good position, Sri Lanka have just let that go in vain. Probably a slight push from Claudio, the skipper. Thailand now, they look to just slow things down. They have the capabilities of doing that as well. They have the lead after that rocket goal. A good header from ThePapare. Gives it out to Pereira. Pereira with De Silva. Silva's cross doesn't pass the first defender. Goes all the way back to Fernando. ThePapare now. Back to skipper, stand-in skipper for Sri Lanka, Claudio Kamenek. Good ball being played out for Zahir Adis, but a touch a bit too heavy. As a throw in favor of Thailand coming up.
Sri Lankans are finding it difficult to go through the midfield defensive effort of the Thai team, who are marshalling those corner channels very well.
And so far, as Burirat there is fouled and Rajmohan concedes that foul on that occasion. It's indeed very interesting to see how Thailand has set up, and as Sri Lanka does attack, and just having another look at that foul on Burirat there, as Thirathon makes that initial pass and Burirat gets his foot taken from under him and he launches the ball up the field. But what is very interesting so far is to see how Thailand has kept their shape, and here's another opportunity with a beautiful cross, very nearly finding Seksan Ratri on the edge of that one there, the skipper Kavish Fernando not making many mistakes, but Songkrasin, he has been a live wire in that midfield.
That was a real opportunity for Thailand. Unfortunately, the skipper losing his footing because of the wet underfoot conditions. Otherwise, there would have been a little bit more spice on that. Sri Lanka have been good when they're looking to counter. Can they finish is what I was going to say, but struggling to find rhythm, Sri Lanka.
It's a matter of just regrouping for Sri Lanka. Things haven't gone their way in this early minutes of this first half. Rajendram back to that right wing back position with Kelly just dropping back. Once again, the ball goes all the way back to Fernando.
You know, Sudarshan, I wonder whether this strategy to play Garrett Kelly as a third centre-back, more or less, and playing these full-backs is working against Sri Lanka to some degree. They've been absolutely overrun in the middle of the park. And this two-man midfield, similar and akin to that 3-5-2 formation that is getting a lot of criticism when Manchester United played, puts a lot of pressure on those two midfielders. Leon Pereira and Jeremy have a lot of work to do, and Garrett Kelly has been that guy to break the lines and really show a lot of energy in that middle of the park. Having him sitting at the back has taken that energy out of the middle of the park and letting Thailand as a result really dominate the middle of the pitch, which has resulted in a lot of turnovers as well.
They're going to be interesting how Sri Lanka comes around with it. Clearly not happy at referee's lenience on that Thai defender.
Sri Lanka should just put that goal behind them now. Good header from Kelly Durant now. For a shot from range, but a massive save. But that rebound from De Silva just couldn't find the back of the net. Sri Lanka knocking on the door.
Oh, what an opportunity for Sri Lanka. And on the rebound, De Silva will be disappointed. But opportunity, they need to finish this. A good stop from the Thai goalkeeper, and De Silva just couldn't get there.
Absolutely, Sam Durant with a beautiful effort, and Kamai up to it. He does everything right as a goalkeeper to get the ball parried away from the goal, but he didn't see Dylan De Silva coming for that rebound. And Dylan De Silva now with an opportunity to find Rajmohan. Rajmohan down this flank. Can he get this one in? And it comes off the defender. Mickelson manages to win the foul and kills the play, but Sri Lanka with a period of pressure on that occasion, putting Thailand on the back foot for the first time since this game started, and that's more like it, and that really is what the Sri Lankans are good at, getting those wingers on the ball, getting those fast-paced players in forward positions.
Indeed, in that passage of play there, Shan, we did see the Sri Lankan crowd here finding their voice back, just backing this team. So it probably will be a matter of time till this Sri Lankan outfit produces that equalizing goal. That move all started with Garrett Kelly's thumping header. And now Kavish Fernando will need to clear his lines. He's done all right, but still possession now with Thailand. Winning back position, Sri Lanka with that throw-in taken quickly. Sri Lanka showing some urgency. We're almost halfway through this first half. Sri Lanka have had one shot on target. Rajendram. Back to Kelly. Kelly continuing to play in that centre-back position together with ThePapare and captain Claudio. Claudio ups out to Rajendram. Having ThePapare and Kelly on his right side, he opted to go for that far player, but still, surely a big row from the crowd and coach Al-Mutari as well. Nothing says the referee as play continues. Once again, Thailand sending it all the way to the back. Scanning his options and a big tackle coming in from Addis. He has to drop back quickly.
And I don't know if you saw exactly what I saw there as well, Sudarshan. Sri Lanka having their front four, Adhavan Raj Mohan, Sam Durant, Dylan De Silva, the front three more or less, with Rajendram coming on as more of a wing back, playing very much forward, pressing the Thai defence back. And so far, Pativat Kamai in that Thai goal has used a long ball as a means of getting past that defense and getting past that first line of attack, which in turn is what creates the opportunities in the middle of the park that has allowed Thailand to kind of flood in and really overload both Leon Pereira and Jeremy Pereira for numbers so far. So it looks like the coaching staff in Thailand have done their homework in terms of what to expect from Sri Lanka as well, and really narrowing that pitch down so that the Sri Lankans are forced to go as wide as possible. You can see the whole team very compact as they press onto the far side.
Jeremy Pereira from centre field gives it out to Rajendram. Some venom in that pass, but Rajendram has always been trusted in this right back position. Sri Lanka doing the right thing, just milking position. Good switch play, Zayadis. Nevertheless, it will be a throw-in in favour of Sri Lanka coming up. Kamenet. And as we did mention, Deshan, that height advantage really coming into play in moments like that. And Thailand surely bossing that factor in this game against the Sri Lankan attackers. Once again, a shot from range.
And Tirasak very nearly managed to get a shot away, but it ricocheted off the defender and made its way out of bounds on that occasion. But Sri Lanka really need to look at the drawing board. Anthony Hudson in particular will be a very happy man because he's winning the tactical battle in the middle of the park so far. Coach Al-Mutairi needs some instructions to come across as Sarach Yuyen, the 33-year-old Pathum United defender, goes in for this corner. And Thailand will be happy to take all the time in the world for these set pieces, as he signals with his hands there as well. And the cross comes in. Here's an opportunity. Kavish Fernando, beaten all ends up on that occasion. Really needs to do better to command that box of his. Having yet another look on this occasion as ball comes in. I don't think he saw much of it. Managed to get a hand, but living dangerously. Kavish Fernando, not the biggest goalkeeper in the world. And to be fair, neither is Sujan, but Sujan does have a bit more of a presence about him. And that is being heavily missed here as Thirathan takes this corner now. An in-swinger again from the other side. Swings it in, and once again Kavish Fernando gets an all-important touch on this occasion. Does very well. A bit of a hard fall for him as well. Indeed, an awkward fall for Kavish Fernando. But a third consecutive corner now for Thailand. Reshwan, Thirathan with... I think when he came down, he placed his left arm and fell awkwardly on his left wrist. As once again, Sarach Yuyen with an opportunity to send in an in-swinging cross. A bout of pressure from Thailand. The ball comes in. Once again, Kavish Fernando. He's got the job done, but he hasn't been convincing, has he, Reshwan? Indeed, it's been a testing period out for him. And you have to feel for the young man. Suddenly just being put in between the sticks. And he has big boots to fill in as well. The likes of always not so easy to fill in the boots of Sujan Pereira. Kavish Fernando just goes down. He's been in the firing end in this last couple of minutes. And Sri Lanka will hope that they'll not lose another goalkeeper. Kavish Fernando gradually gets back on his feet. It's been tough 29 minutes for the young man in goal. Taking this shot on this occasion. Thirathan, he manages to work it in. Raj Mohan gets it away. Dylan De Silva now clears it and turns it into a pass very nearly for Leon Pereira. Songkrasin unable to keep it in. Now Leon Pereira goes long, trying to get Sam Durant. And the pressing continues. Buriat gets it away. And now Thailand managed to beat that pressure. Thailand has been absolutely fantastic so far in maintaining the defensive shape, Sudarshana. They've not let anything get past them. And even on the counter, even on these attacks, as a beautiful little touch from Songkrasin, very nearly turns into an attack. And Leon Pereira now looks to the far side. Doesn't find Dylan De Silva. But as I was saying, the defensive shape of the Thai team has been absolutely fantastic. And there's been almost a wall of sorts, a black wall there in front of the goal that has stopped every single wave of Sri Lankan attacks almost.
In a day and age where teams are forced to wear contrasting colors, these two teams cannot be more contrasting, even if they tried when it comes to their livery. And like you mentioned, Deshan, definitely Thailand looking like a fortress when they defend, but they have had the best pass completion throughout both teams as well. They've completed their passes so very well. Sri Lanka still with a little hesitance in their rhythm. They're not the same team that play at home. They'll need to shake it off, the fact that they've conceded one and almost conceded another with back-to-back corners couple of minutes ago. Shake it off and make sure that you go into half-time with a positive performance if they can get their rhythm. As Hadis goes to ground.
Harsh call for Zayadis. Put in that extra touch. It was brought down from that tackle. Nothing, says the referee. It's now once again a goal kick. An opportunity for Thailand to just rebuild their position. Here's that ball out. Garrett Kelly up to it in quick time. Haven't seen much of Raja Mohan in this first half. Zayadis once again wins back position for Sri Lanka, but a throw-in coming up for Thailand. It's been very quiet first half from the Sri Lankan attackers. Just one shot on target in his opening 33 minutes or so. Cross once again comes in. ThePapare doing good work, but now ThePapare scanning his options. Now once again, good turn from Durrant to Raja Mohan. Now Pereira back to Kamenet. Kamenet gives it to Kelly. Kelly, we haven't seen him much in that midfield position since Sri Lanka conceded that goal.
Dylan De Silva is absolutely fantastically there to get past the man, and that should be a card. Nicholas Mikuson staking his case, but referee says nothing doing, and that's the first booking of the game so far. Blatant foul to stop Dylan De Silva breaking into the box. De Silva, odds seem to suggest that he couldn't be getting that ball following Jeremy Pereira's pass, but does fantastically well and puts Sam Durant in an opportunity to be able to swing one in and generate some turmoil in that box. Sam Durant, all that experience playing in the Azerbaijani Premier League, now with an opportunity to make his mark in the white shirt of the Lions.
Indeed, a chance of Sri Lanka chanting on here in the Racecourse Stadium. Sam Durant with the free kick. Kamenet gets that header, but no harm done. And yet another set piece goes in vain for Sri Lanka.
Absolutely, Reshwan. I think that was a very poor delivery on the part of Durant. There was no pace on it and really asked way too much of Claudio Kamenet on that occasion. Kamenet managed to get some purchase on it and direct it goalwards, but that was never going to challenge Kamai in the Thailand goal. Al-Mutairi, Sri Lanka's coach, not looking very pleased with his charges so far. Now Jeremy Pereira hoiks it forward, nothing doing. Nadhavan Rajmohan and Jeremy Pereira just flailing their arms and asking questions of one another. As the rain once again starts pelting on this racecourse turf. A lot of these players playing Premier League football in other parts of Asia, some playing high-level football in Europe. The likes of Claudio Kamenet playing in Germany's second division. They won't be used to playing in a rainy, wet racecourse ground, despite it being Sri Lanka's best ground by far, still doesn't quite meet the absolute carpets that you see on the rest of the world, in the rest of the football world. So things playing out now in a way where Sri Lanka can potentially really exploit that home advantage. They train on this pitch every single day. Claudio Kamenekt and Jason Dayabaran really trying to calm the game down. Garrett Kelly playing in that third centre-back role. Rajendram missing from your screens. He's that far in front as right back. Zahi Adis nearly loses possession, but Sri Lanka with the throw in. Claudio Kamenekt. Referee pulls it back, says he went too far in front. Hari Zahi Adis, of course, not just a very talented footballer, Sudarshana, he's also got bars. He's a rapper as well. Coach Almatari not very happy, and rightfully so, I believe. Sri Lanka has been rather toothless so far this game, and a lot of the credit there has to go to the Thai defense, marshalled especially by the two centre-backs who've been absolute walls, really. The only real Sri Lankan threat so far coming from that Sam Durant effort from outside the box.
Yeah, Thailand have really controlled this game. 38 minutes on our clock, as they know they have Sri Lanka reeling. Sri Lanka will have to really regroup here, try and play for what's in front of them, because the conditions are going to be even more difficult come second half. Thailand happy to move about freely.
Heading into this final few minutes of this first half, Sri Lanka had a decent opportunity since conceding. Now Thailand almost getting yet another opportunity on target.
Absolutely, Burirat, he has been fantastic down this right flank and very nearly finds Tirasak in the middle of the box. Once again, having another look, Burirat with a beautifully spotted pass. Unable to get enough purchase on that in the number 14 shirt, Tirasak. But a free header, which is concerning for the home side from the 6-yard box. Claudio Kamenekt with that captain's armband for the first time ever wins that foul. Zahi Adis. Zahi Adis taking on his man, and referee calls for a foul. Burirat involved in the thick of things, and following what was very nearly an assist on the other side of the pitch, concedes a free kick in a dangerous area. Hari Zahi Adis, in his first full match that he played for Sri Lanka in the defense a couple of weeks ago, was absolutely solid, an absolute live wire, bundles of energy. And he's not far off that performance now. It's just that final product, that end product has been wanting a little bit. But he's happy to take a risk, he's happy to run at a player. And it's put Sri Lanka now in a position where they can get a cross in. It's so important that they test the goalkeeper with this one. And equally important is the right kind of service.
Raja Mohan with the set piece duties for Sri Lanka. Plenty of white shirts in that penalty box. Likes of ThePapare, Claudio Kelly. Who can Raja Mohan spot. Decent header, but Leon Pereira's acrobatic efforts not enough to find the back of the net.
Well, it's been that kind of day for Sri Lanka. You ask who can the aberrant spot is one of the goalie who was wearing red. Brilliant goalkeeping effort. And Leon Pereira that time couldn't get the connection too high when he made the connection because there were players around him. So opportunity gone begging for Sri Lanka yet again.
Absolutely, Leon Pereira, a lot being asked of him on that occasion. But unfortunately not quite as successful as he'd like to be, but more of that please from the Sri Lankans, and great pass from Raj Mohan. Dylan De Silva now with an opportunity. Sam Durant with the opportunity to cross. He sent a ball in to Rajendram, but equally well cleared. And Garrett Kelly manages to win the ball. Foul called. No advantage. Is there? No advantage played on, but the referee now bringing it back. Oh no, the referee's brought it back for a handball by the looks of it. Much to the dismay of Garrett Kelly, he thought the foul was being brought back. As did a lot of people in the stadium as well, Sudarshana.
When I come back to the point you made, bringing Kelly into the front, that's what he can create up in the front. Oh my goodness. Gareth Kelly being very composed for a man who was blatantly foul. We know some of the players in international football who can be very animated when things don't go their way. But Sri Lanka need to have that resolve, and Kelly will try to spur the rest of them on as well.
Indeed, a cool, calm head. Garrett Kelly, look at that. He was coming all in. And very interesting call coming in from the side referee as well. Opposition skipper. He's been in the pick of things for Thailand. Rajendram with the throw in, still scanning his options, gives it out to Pereira. Now once again, almost interception, shot from range from the skipper, but a bit too much on it, and a valiant effort from the Thailand captain. Kelly will well and surely still keep that foul in the back of his mind. And so now Durant scanning his options, gives it out to back to Durant. Durant has been the live wire for Sri Lanka in this first half. Jeremy Pereira to De Silva. De Silva from his right foot puts it in, and the goalkeeper coming out and punches it away as Thailand now. Just the 1 minute of added time as Jeremy Pereira wins a free kick. And from 30 yards out, can one of Sri Lanka's set piece makers make it level going into the break?
Thirathon there conceding a free kick in a dangerous area as well, just before the half time, as we run into the half time interval. In the final minute of this half in added time, with 1 minute declared, Jeremy Pereira does very well, and he manages to get past the man in the number 16 shirt there, Thanawat. But then just as he tried to hoik the ball above his man, that foul there coming from Thirathon as well, giving Sri Lanka one final opportunity. Claudio Kamanek with a jackhammer of a right foot, trying to go at it, and doesn't really get a hold of it well enough, does he?
Indeed, he does not. Sri Lankan skipper will be disappointed how things went in that first half. Sri Lanka have had their fair bit of chances. They had a shot on target in that first half, but still not enough to draw level against this Thailand outfit. It was Thailand who drew first blood quite early on in the game. And then since then, it's been Sri Lanka who have been knocking on the door. But that door yet to be opened. Plenty at stake coming up in that second half for the home side Sri Lanka. And both set of coaches, Coach Abdullah Al-Mutari from Sri Lanka and Anthony Patrick from Thailand, will have their fair share. That's your halftime score confirmation. Thailand going into the break with a solitary goal, as Sri Lanka will really have to come from behind, and they'll have just the second 45 minutes to do that.
Get ready for an electrifying T20I Tri-Series. Witness Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe battle it out in Pakistan's iconic stadiums, Rawalpindi and Lahore. Feel the roar of the crowd, the power of the sixers and the drama of every wicket. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD. Exclusively on Dialog Television, channel number 62 and 126.
උද්‍යෝගිමත් T20 තරගාවලියකට ඔබ සූදානම්ද? පාකිස්තානය, ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ සිම්බාබ්වේ දේශය අතර තුන් කොන් සංග්‍රාමය. පාකිස්තානයේදී ඔල්වර සම්මැද සෑම පන්දුවක්ම එලෙසින් නරඹන්න. ඩයලොග් ටෙලිවිෂන් නාලිකාංක 62, ThePapare 1 සහ නාලිකාංක 126, ThePapare 1 HD ඔස්සේ සජීවීව.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. Get ready, Sri Lanka. The ultimate battle on the rugby pitch. Interclub Rugby League is back. Catch every thrilling moment, exclusive highlights and live action only on Sri Lanka's #1 sports network, the Papare on Dialog Television, or watch it live anytime, anywhere on the ViU Plus app and thepapare.com. Join the roar, feel the passion. Don't miss the Interclub Rugby League, only on the Papare.
Just a little bit of
the ball really well here watching in Sri Lanka on the Papare or Dialog TV.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to ThePapare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
Just a little bit of
පිටිපත්තුවට ඉහළින් පාර ස්ථානගත කිරීම on ThePapare on Dialog TV.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare.
Get ready for an electrifying T20I tri-series. Witness Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe battle it out in Pakistan's iconic stadiums, Rawalpindi and Lahore. Feel the roar of the crowd, the power of the sixers and the drama of every wicket. Live on the Papare 1 and the Papare 1 HD. Exclusively on Dialog Television, channel number 62 and 126.
උද්‍යෝගිමත් T20 තරගාවලියකට ඔබ සූදානම්ද? පාකිස්තානය ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ සිම්බාබ්වේ දේශය අතර තුන් කොන් සංග්‍රාමය. පාකිස්තානයේදී ඔල්වර සම්මැද සෑම පන්දුවක්ම එලෙසින් නරඹන්න. ඩයලොග් ටෙලිවිෂන් නාලිකාංක 62, ThePapare 1 සහ නාලිකාංක 126, ThePapare 1 HD ඔස්සේ සජීවීව.
Elevate your game with ThePapare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to ThePapare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
Welcome back to the Racecourse Stadium here in Colombo. If you're just tuned in, we are here for the game between Sri Lanka and Thailand at the AFC Asian Qualifiers 2027. First half was solely dominated by the away side in the early exchanges. It was Thailand who drew first blood in the 6th minute. But since then, it was Sri Lanka who was knocking on the door, who had a fair bit of chances. As we take a look at that first 45 minutes, it was a rocket of a goal. Raja Mohan could have done better, but that goal was just too much. It was number 16 from Thailand, Thanawat, who drew first blood. But since then, Thailand as well were knocking on the door to try and double their lead. This was an opportunity for Sri Lanka and will go down begging. Rebound shot just couldn't find Dylan De Silva. Since then, Thailand got 4 back-to-back corners where Kavisha Fernando was really put into the test, but eventually got out of trouble. This was Dylan De Silva who really had a good first half, but Sri Lanka will hope that he'll come into the party in the second 45 minutes. It was Rajamohan's set piece work, Leon Pereira's acrobatic efforts just couldn't find the target, where Sri Lanka went into the break trailing a goal to the good for the visitors, Thailand.
Visiting supporters absolutely jubilant and have been very vocal, and their team have supplied them plenty of exciting moments on the pitch. Sri Lankan fans watching eagerly. They need to make sure that they back them up. Sri Lanka will be looking for an explosive start where they'll be able to try and square things up. The families of the players from Sri Lanka and the travelling Thai friends have been absolutely brilliant.
She seems a bit shy to be on camera.
And Here's hoping that's not a Coldplay moment. Plenty of Sri Lankan fans making their way for the second half.
Indeed, some eager looking faces out here at the Racecourse Stadium. They'll really want Sri Lanka to turn up in that second half and try and script a comeback, and really hope that they could come from behind and try and get all 3 points. Currently trailing in the game are the home side. Plenty to play for. The Sri Lanka crowd here have turned up in numbers, and they'll hope they'll have a joyful moment in the next 45 minutes or so. All young, old, all present here. Be a massive game for Sri Lanka football if they are to try and get a positive result. They'll have to work really hard. Always good to see a bigger crowd present here at the Colombo Racecourse. That's what whole of Sri Lanka would have wanted. The crowd will be vibrant in the next 45 minutes as well, and really impressive away crowd as well from Thailand. They've taken the trip down to the island nation, and haven't their team made them a happy bunch.
Beautiful to see all the representations and the flags coming out with the Thai fans. And this is what you need to see as an international football here in Sri Lanka. Opportunity for all our fans to witness some very good rivalry, passionate fans traveling for the Thai team, who have done justice to their traveling fans so far. The host team will have to back up with a very good performance in the second, as they will be eagerly followed by the host nation here at Colombo and around Sri Lanka. Port FC, proud representation here. And here's a young one who's here to support her dad or uncle, turning out for Sri Lanka. Lovely pictures of the fans who are really enjoying the outing here. And some pineapple. Always the snack available at games.
Indeed, a very healthy crowd out here in Colombo. That's Coach Pakirali on your screens as well. As the rain just picks up here in Colombo, players heading their way out to the playing field. Sri Lanka will come out all guns blazing. They really need to turn up and try and find that equalizing goal, and if they do so, this game could go either way.
As the team step out now for the start of the second half, looks like there will be a few tactical changes for the home side as well. And yes, there will be Rajendram being taken off, Anujan Rajendram, and being replaced by Wade Decker by the looks of it. And Zahi Adis to be taken off and replaced by that man in the number 13 shirt, Wasim Razik. So that's a very interesting tactical move. For context, Anujan Rajendram played on the right wing back position, Zahi Adis on the opposite flank in the same position. Now replaced by 2 attackers. So is Sri Lanka now going to play a 3 at the back formation? It looks like that is what they are doing, with 2 attacking wing backs in Sam Durant and Dylan De Silva, with Wade Decker and Wasim Razik essentially playing that front 2. And based on how they have lined up, at least, that's how it looks. With a waste of a kickoff, really, ball being turned over immediately to Thailand. And there'll be absolutely no complaints on the part of Burirat with the throw-in.
Interesting changes coming in from the Sri Lankan camp. Deshan, I think Coach Al-Mutari is putting all his go-to attacking options out there. There's a big 45 minutes coming up for them in the campaign, and in this history as well being played between Thailand. Sri Lanka haven't been able to come away with a positive result in all 7 games they've played out in the history. Even salvaging a draw will be a big win for Sri Lanka.
Absolutely, and in football law, and here's an opportunity, ball coming in, Wade Decker, not quite square enough for him, but you see the idea. I think in football terms, you say throwing the kitchen sink at it, and that looks like what Coach Abdullah Al-Mutari has decided. Anything but a win from this game is going to render this whole campaign useless for Sri Lanka, and looks like they are going to be aggressive in the second half.
Yeah, well, the only way to play the game for Sri Lanka now, isn't it? Because, like you mentioned, only a win is going to supply opportunity for them. Here's Wasim Razik. Durant not able to keep it in the middle, but Sri Lanka, this is very good for them. This is energy shown by the players who've come onto the field, and this is what they lacked.
Absolutely, that initiative already apparent from the get-go in the second half, and let's not forget that wave of attack only possible because Claudio Kamenek beautifully intercepted a lobbed ball that came in from the Thailand team. And now an opportunity for Raj Mohan to swing one in. The deliveries have been poor most of this game for Sri Lanka. And here's a ball in, Garrett Kelly very nearly. But Thailand as well to get that one away. Dylan De Silva now, Dylan De Silva. In that corner, Raj Mohan, Sam Durant. Dylan De Silva hoiks the ball into the box. Here's an opportunity for Kamenek. Gets contact Kamenek. The ball just behind him yet again. But he's done well to rise to the occasion.
Indeed, good early intentions from Sri Lanka. They have really attacked and attacked well in these early few minutes of this first half. Second shot on target for Sri Lanka, so they'll really need to convert one of these opportunities.
The Thai goalie Pativat has been absolutely terrific, hasn't he? He has his presence have really reinforced a safe zone for the Thai defense to operate in front of him. Sri Lanka, though, like we mentioned, have shown some zap in this opening exchanges in the second half. Need to make sure that tactically they are ready to try and face that Thai attack, who can very quickly switch from defense to attack.
ThePapare now with a long ball towards Wasim Razik, one of Sri Lanka's most experienced players out there in the field, playing for Sri Lanka. Now Pereira. Back to ThePapare. ThePapare shifts play too early on. Pereira. Sri Lanka really showing a lot of urgency now. De Silva down that left flank. Wins himself a throw-in. Dylan De Silva lacked support in that attacking play. But now De Silva once again just overcooking that touch. Rather free kick in favor of Thailand coming up. Patiwat in goal for Thailand has been quite impressive for the away side. Conditions in this manner are not easy to stay in goal. But he has really kept well for this away side. Now Thailand with the throw-in. ThePapare first to it, but still not cleared. Jeremy Pereira concedes a free kick.
Did very well to try and challenge the defender, but after he did go down, Jeremy Pereira getting a little frustrated there.
Smart play there from Seksan Ratri in the Thailand's number 22 shirt. He sensed Jeremy Pereira coming, he sensed the urgency, and he was happy to go down and win that free kick. But encouraging signs at the very least for the home side that they are playing with a bit more of a sense of urgency than they did play in the first half. And so far, they have put the Thai team under pressure within the first 6 minutes of the second half, which is also encouraging. It was all Thailand in the early exchanges of the first game, of the first half rather. Bit of a debate about the distance from the ball to the wall. Leon Pereira and Sam Durant in two-man wall for Sri Lanka. Kavish Fernando with yet another challenge to have to keep this one out. Thirathon, he sends this one in. Well intercepted there by Claudio Kamanek. Leon Pereira manages to find it. Sam Durant holds it up for him, and here's an opportunity now. Dylan De Silva. He saw an opportunity there to run on to that one, but Sufanan Burirat again involved in the thick of things. Kamanek. Dylan De Silva with a deft touch there. Wasim Razik taking it off Dylan De Silva's feet. Jeremy Pereira manages to win it back, and the ricochet going all the way back from Garrett Kelly. Just a bit of a miscommunication, look like at the very least, on the part of Sri Lanka. Dylan De Silva with a very deft touch. Jeremy Pereira with a heavy touch, but he manages to win that foul. Natapong. Garrett Kelly asking for some space, saying that Thanawat is way too close to that free kick, and rightfully so. That back three for Sri Lanka. Leon with Decker rather. Leon Pereira, Sam Durant. Durant manhandled to the ground. Referee says absolutely nothing doing. And Thailand now on the break. Dylan De Silva trying to hold his man back, Burirat. And he manages to win the ball back. The Sri Lanka team not very happy with that one. They felt that the ball came off the defender last. But again, referee saying nothing doing. And the composure from the players, all important in these phases of the game. The home team certainly playing better in this half than they were in the first, and it's important that they keep waiting for those opportunities. Jeremy Pereira now. Jeremy Pereira looking to work it out. Claudio Kamanek in a bit of a spot, and using all that experience to manage to win a foul. He was very much cornered there. Raj Mohan now with options. Raj Mohan, will he release it? No, he doesn't, but he manages to find Wasim Razik. Razik goes down. Cheap concession of possession. No foul there at all, and the referee making the right call. How play on. It's encouraging to see the referee let the match continue as much as possible. As Jeremy Pereira's pass, absolute beauty, working its way to Dylan De Silva. Dylan De Silva now with space. With a hopeful ball, but De Silva really needs to be doing better than that. And the play halted here as Thirathon Boomathon seems like he's got about a cramp. The racecourse surface, Sudarshana, not really in the best condition, especially after a bout of rain, is it?
Well, the thing with surfers here is the fact that Deshan, despite being very playable, it becomes very heavy. And your legs are going to take a toll if you're not used to this surface. And most of these Thai players, they do play in artificial turfs back at home, especially when it comes to training as well. It's not the same feel when you are running in a surface with very wet underfoot conditions, soggy underfoot conditions where you have to put in a little bit of an extra effort to get around. And also when it's rainy conditions, you don't keep taking the same amount of liquids that you need to take, and that could be a factor as well. But Sri Lanka, if they can put in a consistent charge towards that goal, they will be able. All they need to do is try and square this game, and Thailand will be going for that lead. They will look for opportunity, and there will be opportunity for Sri Lanka to try and get that second as well. So it's interesting to see the tactical changes really affecting that. Decker and Wasim Razik coming in and putting in a great energetic performance. Thailand looking to press high. That was blatant, to say the least. The referee will book him. Teresak, and rightfully so, because he needs to have a control over the game as well, because if there are penalties or silly fouls given away, second booking of the game, both coming from Thailand. Razik trying to play a through ball, didn't get the touch right.
Intentions were correct from Wasim Razik, but just couldn't get it on point. Good tackle coming in from Jeremy Pereira. Gives Sri Lanka an opportunity to run at this Thailand defense. Not the best of crosses coming into the penalty area. Jeremy Pereira is really putting in a big shift here. Didn't have the best of first 45 minutes, but he'll really look to make amends now. De Silva. And that good collection from the Thailand keeper, who gets it out in quick time, and will go all the way back to his opposite number, Kavisha Fernando, who gives it out to ThePapare. ThePapare to skipper Kamenet. Kamenet out to Durant. Durant's through ball. De Silva just couldn't read that play, and yet another attacking opportunity goes in vain for Sri Lanka.
As you mentioned earlier, Reshwan, it has been an absolute shift from Jeremy, who's been holding that midfield together, sitting in front of the back three. Sri Lanka have been knocking on the door, and they have been the better team this second half so far. Just lacking that clear-cut opportunity that they need in order to really test Patiwat Kamai, the 30-year-old, in that Thailand goal. Here's an opportunity now. Sam Durant, he's been forced out wide. Good defense, and throw in being awarded to Sri Lanka, rightfully so. No comms there as two interesting changes for Thailand. It's going to be Supak, who plays his football in the second division for Hokkaido Sapporo, the 27-year-old attacker. And also Grimsby Town's Jude Soonsup Bell. Jude Soonsup Bell, of course, with Thai heritage, but he's previously played for the Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea youth teams, and also has represented England at under-19 level. So he's got bags of experience at a very high level despite his youth, just 21 years of age. Soonsup Bell, of course, coming on for the man with the yellow card, Tirasak, the number 14 shirt. And corner for Sri Lanka, and an opportunity. Pansa Amriboon not taking any chances and putting the ball out of the box. The fans bringing the noise. As Adavan Rajmohan with an opportunity for this out-swinging corner kick. They just need one moment of luck, the home side, and this place will go ballistic. Cross comes in. Here's an opportunity. Well done again by Thailand to get rid of it. And fantastic play here. And very, very nearly Ratri manages to get away from the attack, from the defense, but well done by Sri Lanka, and another wave of attack. Adavan Rajmohan trying to keep the ball in play, loses possession however. And fantastic press by the home side, but Thailand manages to get the ball away. Garrett Kelly finds it. Calling for the foul there. Referee doesn't make any calls and he takes his time. And Thailand, and once again getting the ball out of bounds, but the intensity of the press from the home side has really improved as the game has gone on. Garrett Kelly now with the throw in. He really is the utility man for the Sri Lanka side as the ball comes in. The keeper doesn't hold it. Dylan De Silva with an opportunity. Can he shoot? Can he pass? Dylan De Silva does absolutely nothing with it. He should be making some sort of decision there. He had a number of options. The left winger. Poor judgment call by him. Should be testing the keeper, but Sri Lanka once again knocking on the door.
Indeed, a big opportunity goes down begging. This is a big chance coming in from the crowd here at the Racecourse Stadium now. Once again, Razik gives it out to Kelly. Kelly brings back play right back to that defense of Sri Lanka. ThePapare gives it out to Kelly. Kelly to Razik to Durant. Durant gives it out to Wade Decker. Some way or the other finds De Silva.
Definitely hasn't been De Silva's day today. Trying to take on a little too much on himself. Frustration for the entire attacking line and also the fans who are getting behind the host nation, but this is good from Sri Lanka. Wave after wave after wave after attack and creating opportunity. They just need to back themselves up. They managed to push Thailand and keep them camped in their own half. Jeremy Pereira could have done so much more better on that one.
That was Jeremy Pereira's first mistake in the second half. He's been absolutely all over the place, but Sri Lanka really need to be a bit more clinical with their chances. At the very least, testing the keeper. Here we go, the substitute for Thailand. Supak with and the shot comes in. And that's what it is. Sunsuk Bell, the substitute, makes it 2-0. And that really is how the game works. You don't bury your chances, you get caught on the other end. And that should be the win for Thailand. The 21-year-old English-born attacker scores the second goal of the game. And a beautiful cross there. The two substitutes combining. Supak with a beautifully elevated cross. And questions to ask the defense as well. They had 3 centre backs. None of them goal side of the attacker, which is also a concern for the Sri Lankans. But Thailand won't be complaining. They'll be very, very happy as Seksan Ratri, who's put in a good shift over the course of this game, also makes his way off the pitch for the number 8 shirt, Piradol. Coach Al-Mutairi in previous games, Reshwan has mentioned that Sri Lanka does need to be more clinical, and particularly after the first game against the Maldives, where despite countless chances, the home side lost 3-0 in that game. And again today, they've just not been clinical enough so far.
Indeed. Going back, Sri Lanka will have absolutely rethink how things have gone. Latest goal scorer for Thailand, Jude Sunsop Bell from places football for Grimsby Town. Now Sri Lanka have made themselves to climb a mountain to try and get at least a point. Will be quite tough. Taking that throw in quickly. Decker puts that ball into no man's land.
It's been a masterful performance by the visitors. Sudarshana, has it not, sitting and really absorbing that pressure, catching them on the counter. And I know from an objective point of view, many will say he's, it's just Grimsby Town, but the level of football over there in England, particularly even at that level, is substantially higher than the region. And a lot of these players, particularly Jude Sunsuk-Bell, coming from a lot of experience and exposure, having received his football education at both Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea FC. So these are players who've grown up playing with top class players. And from a neutral perspective, if you're watching football or you're a fan of football or you're trying to learn football, the body positioning that Sunsuk-Bell kind of made available to him essentially primed himself for that opportunity and guided that ball in. Dylan De Silva with an opportunity to put the ball into the box. He does, and Sri Lanka, where Decker will be frustrated that he couldn't get something on it, as is coach Al-Mutairi. Jeremy Pereira as well involved in the midst of that. And Dylan De Silva with a fantastic ball into the box. One more look at that. That touch from Wade Decker, just not expecting the ball to come onto his foot. Sam Durant now with the cross. Sam Durant sends it in. The keeper doesn't quite get there. Claudio works it back all the way to Jason Dayabaran, but again goes back to what we were saying, Sudarshana Sunsukbel, the way he positioned himself to hit that ball beyond the keeper, nestled in the corner, versus how Wade Decker couldn't quite get that touch and wasn't ready for the ball to come in. It's fantastic watching of football technicality from a neutral perspective.
Yeah, Bell coming on and really... Here's an opportunity yet again for Sri Lanka, and it has been that kind of day. Overrunning that beautiful cross. Kavish at that time not entirely clearing. Need to make sure that he keeps his composure under pressure, because Thailand have absolutely nothing to lose.
Sri Lanka making yet another change, bringing on Niloshan. Probably final roll of the dice for coach Abdul Al-Mutari, as Jeremy Pereira's day done. Niloshan in that midfield will be a live wire in the remaining 20 minutes or so. Concerning looking face on for the Sri Lankan president, Mr. Jaswar. He's worked really hard to bring back Sri Lanka football to where it is. Once again, Cabinet under pressure. Clears that ball out well, finds Wade Decker. Wade Decker gives it out to De Silva. De Silva just can't find a teammate on that occasion. Meaninglessly just clearing that ball. And Sri Lanka have no time to do that. With this current state, Thailand will climb up to the top of the table of this Group D. And later on in the night, Turkmenistan will host Chinese Taipei, where Turkmenistan will really battle it out for a big result. Now once again, Sri Lanka. It's been the away crowd who's really been quite loud. Niloshan's touch, just giving it out to the goal scorer. But yet another throw in to follow for Thailand. Haven't seen much of Adhavan Rajamohan as well in this game. Sri Lanka possibly missing his flair. They really need Rajamohan to come into the party here. Cabinet gives it out to ThePapare. ThePapare now plays a long ball to Pereira, but dealt well by this Thailand defense, who have been rock solid in the back.
Supak Sarachat there felt that he was fouled. I think a little bit lucky on the part of the Sri Lankan team for not getting a foul there. Claudio Kamenekt and Anthony Patrick Hudson, the keeper, the coach rather, for Thailand, having a bit of a word on the touchline. And Claudio Kamenekt, his first game with that captain's armband, he hasn't really done too much wrong, but the scoreline still reads 2-0, so he's going to be far from happy. Thailand have just been absolutely clinical when they've been put in front of the goal. They've not had a host of chances, particularly in the second half. But they had that worldie within the first 10 minutes. couple of chances since in the first half, and in the second half they had one clear-cut chance and they managed to score. Dylan De Silva sends a beautiful cross in, but straight at the keeper, and particularly Patiwat Kamai, the 30-year-old, is not going to make too many mistakes in dropping a ball like that. He's been in sensational form today. And Jason Dayabaran potentially looking at getting himself in the book, and yes, he is. That's a yellow card. Sunsu Bell, he's come on and he's really stretched the play for the Thais and put Sri Lanka under pressure a little bit, got those centre-backs moving around. And Jason Dayabaran finally caving in, getting that yellow card. Garrett Kelly trying to keep his Chargers motivated and keep his Chargers focused on trying to turn this game around somehow. There's about 14 minutes and a bit more left of normal time. The cross coming in. Here's an opportunity for Thailand. Once again, clean header. Thailand now. Cross coming in once again, and that is it. That's 3-0 for the visitors. Pamsa Henryborn rising highest and nodding home what was possibly one of the easiest goals he'll ever score. And that is the tie dead and buried. The Sri Lankan lads, the heads hung low. 3 players marking the man. But still, amidst all that, Nicholas Mikkelsen able to get a simple cross in, and Garrett Kelly, who has otherwise been rather solid, absolutely misjudging that one. And Pamsa Henryborn, the veteran 35-year-old Buriram United player, making no mistake in nodding that one home. So 3-0 now to the visitors. Sudarshana, do Sri Lanka still go for it, or do they focus on damage limitation?
Well, Sri Lanka, I think, need to go for it. There is no damage limitation they will be looking at. They haven't got the players to just sit back and relax. They have got the players now in their midst to try and attack. They now have to face the glum reality of losing this one at the hands of the Thais, and 3-0 at home as well. They'll consider themselves very unlucky given that away to Thailand in that first game of the competition they just lost 1-0. But it has been that kind of day for Sri Lanka, hasn't it? Missing their regular skipper who mans the goal, and they haven't really been able to get the rhythm that they were after.
Sri Lankans just getting fired up there. Emotions probably coming out for the Sri Lankan lads. Referee having his word with Jason Dayabaran and Adhavan Rajamohan really coming into the mix, really just settling things down together with the Thailand skipper Chanathip. Sam Durrant will oversee this free kick. Sarach Yuyin, latest man in the books for Thailand. Durrant with the free kick. And that's been that kind of a day for Sri Lanka. Nothing just working out for them. This was that incident that won Sri Lanka that free kick. The tackle on Wade Decker. Now once again, Sri Lanka losing position through De Silva. There's Thailand. We look to add more goals to this 3. And that will be important for them as we head into the final 10 minutes of this game. Remember, Thailand and Turkmenistan were tied on points prior to this encounter. That goal difference will surely come into the play as we enter the business end of the tournament. Oliver Kellart comes on for Sam Durrant. ThePapare. Cool, calm and collected stuff from Jason ThePapare. Not the best of clearances coming in. A through ball a tad bit too heavy. ThePapare now gives it out to Niloshan. Niloshan came on, hasn't done much since coming on, and a miscued pass as well this time around. Once again now Thailand looking to add more to this 3 goals, but that cross not finding anyone.
Sufanan Burirat with that cross, but both Supak in that number 7 shirt and Sun Suk Bell, they came on together and they've added a new lease of life to this Thailand attack and really stretching the Sri Lanka defense as well. Once again in the midst of things, Supak. Raj Mohan now manages to win it back. Dylan De Silva with space to run into. Can he create something? Dylan De Silva. Bit of a rushed cross on Dylan De Silva's part. He had the time for another touch potentially. Couldn't find his teammate. Just not quite coming together, Sri Lanka today. I think started with the bout of illness that we heard Sujan Pereira had ruling him out of this game. And ever since that news broke, those combinations not really working quite as well as we'd like. Dylan De Silva loses the ball. Supak, he's been everywhere since he's come on this right flank. Jason ThePapare very nearly having a little slip, and Sun Suk Bell. Oliver Kellart, who's just come on this far side. With Wasim Razik now trying to run into Spake. Razik beautifully taken out there by the Thai defense, and Razik manhandling his man. Just an unnecessary one there.
It's been a tough outing for Sri Lanka here. Its home crowd are not used to see Sri Lanka lose in this campaign. This will be the first loss for Sri Lanka as things stand right now at home.
Sri Lanka chasing a consolation at the very least. But Thailand continues to hold their shape in defense. Songskarin, the skipper, with a beautiful pass. He finds Sarinkan. Tries to run into play and release Supak, but nothing doing. Leon Pereira does very well. Wade Decker now with space to run into. He's got a wall in front of him, and he tries to dribble his way more or less through 3-4 defenders and loses the ball. Supak once again. He has been creator-in-chief since coming on and is immediately spreading the play, taking his time on the ball.
Indeed, Thailand just going through the phases now. Sri Lanka well and truly out of this contest. It's been a good learning curve for this Sri Lankan outfit as well. Coming to this game as favourites were Thailand. They have surely done justice to that tagline. Thailand looking to do the double over Sri Lanka in this campaign, home and away. Through ball not being played well. Dealt quite easily by the Thailand goalkeeper Patiwat, who's been brilliant in goal. As of now, securing a clean sheet as well for his team. Sri Lanka yet to find the back of the net in this campaign against Thailand. They lost that first game 1-0. Can they just find that consolation goal? As Leon Pereira looking to take the shot from range, but just couldn't trouble the keeper or find the target. It's been a day of that thought for Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka bring on yet another change as coach Abdul Al-Mutari hands a debut for Caniston. And a very proud moment for that young man and his family, as he will make an appearance for Sri Lanka for the first time in his career, replacing Dylan De Silva. And Thailand as well making some changes. Their skipper, who's been in the pick of things, Chanathip, comes off. Caniston, the latest debutant for Sri Lanka. What can he show for the remaining final few minutes of this game? So, Sri Lanka once again lose position. Rajamohan wins it back. Gives it out to Kellart. Kellart to Niloshan. Niloshan to Pereira, who's had a tiring 88 minutes or so. That's Claudio Camanet. Gives it out to ThePapare. To Kelly. Kelly hasn't played in his normal position. He's been dropped back since Thailand going 1-0 up. That's the first touch for Caniston in Sri Lankan colours.
Caniston, of course, the latest in a line of expat players to make their debut for Sri Lanka. Not too much time for him to really make an impact in this game, but nonetheless, an opportunity to get that first outing under his belt. And here he is trying to make an impact. He breaks away from his marker and he just loses the ball at the most important moment. Thailand now with an opportunity, 3 versus 2. Here is Supak. Supak, he manages to find his man. Sunsuk Bell, very nearly, but Garrett Kelly works wonders. And once again an opportunity, Leon Pereira intercepts, but Supak has been fantastic in that final third. And very nearly, if it wasn't for Garrett Kelly's intervention, that would be 4. It still might be. Sunsuk Bell does exactly that, makes it 4-0 to the visitors. This time around, Garrett Kelly dumbfounded by that ball, getting nowhere near it. And that well and truly puts Sri Lanka's AFC Asia Cup campaign to bed.
Confetti going up in the Thailand fans, and why shouldn't they celebrate? The team now rubbing salt to the wounds of the home team. Completely dysfunctional at the back. And Kelly, normally safe as houses. Absolute no challenge to Bell. Just like in the training pitch for him, as Thailand gets their 4th goal. The afternoon going from worst to worst for Sri Lanka.
Not quite out of their misery yet. 3 more minutes left in this game. And once again, the story has been one that Coach Al-Mutairi in particular has been harping on about for a few months. Sri Lanka not taking the chances they create, really not being clinical enough in front of goal, and a goal really does change the way a game flows, doesn't it? And here's an opportunity now with Supak. Supak, he manages to make a shot. Kavish Fernando, less than convincing. He should be holding on to those ones. Coming straight at him. Not much he could have done for most of the goals today, Kavish Fernando, but the nerves certainly showing. But that shot, he's parrying it straight into the middle of the box, and that's basic goalkeeping 101. Don't put the ball and don't parry the ball into the middle of the box. So Kavish Fernando. The leadership from Sujan also being very badly missed by the Sri Lankans. As we roll into the final minute of added time here. Just a bit of keep ball session now for the Thai defense, who've had a fantastic evening. They've almost never looked like conceding a goal today, have they, Sudarshana?
Yeah, they've been an absolute wall, haven't they? They've given a lot of confidence to their keeper, Pativat, who's been fabulous as well. But Sri Lanka, on the other hand, will have to lick their wounds. A harsh reality of a team which is on double digits in the world rankings, as the referee blows the long whistle.
Indeed, that's Thailand, who win quite comprehensively here in Colombo, as they do the double over Sri Lanka in this AFC Asian Cup qualification round. Sri Lanka suffer their biggest defeat in the campaign in the expense of current group leaders. Thailand go to the top of the tree in this group after a mammoth win over Sri Lanka. Disappointing evening for Sri Lanka, but this crowd on your screens can be happy and joyful. Their trip down to the island nation has well and surely paid off, as their team has really put on a show and quite a dominating performance as well. Respect all around after a game of hard-fought football between the two sides. It was Thailand who have absolutely ran riot here in Colombo. A joyful Thailand contingent out here in Colombo, will be happy how things went around this evening. Pleasant evening out here in Colombo. The weather held up beautifully for a fast pace of football. But it was Thailand who are chanting and making their voice being felt here at the Colombo Racecourse. Brilliant win at the end. Both players just having a moment with each other. It's a matter of just going back into the drawing books for Sri Lanka to try and learn from all the mistakes and do well in the next time coming. Sri Lanka suffer their 8th defeat to Thailand here, as Thailand continue their merry way in this head-to-head tally. And that's your full-time score confirmation. Thailand beat Sri Lanka quite comprehensively, 4-0 here in Colombo. It was Sri Lanka was coming into the second half with a mountain to climb. Brought on some changes, some good attacking tactical changes, but just didn't go their way. Sri Lanka continued to knock on the door, but just was not enough. As Thailand really looked to attack. And, these 4 goals will do a whole heap of good for them come that final match day. They are tied on points with Turkmenistan, but currently our group leaders are Thailand, with Turkmenistan taking on Chinese Taipei later on tonight. That was the goal that really put this game into bed. Then from there on, Sri Lanka had their fair bit of chances, but just couldn't capitalize on it and put the ball in the back of the net. It was Sri Lanka. Jason Thayaparan, the only player to go into the book from the Sri Lanka jerseys, and then this was just easy stuff for Thailand. The 96th ranked team have really justified their favourites tagline coming into this encounter. Had some fiery moments. The emotions were surely coming out for the Sri Lankans. And then Leon Pereira as well had a shot from range, but just couldn't find the target. And then this goal put everything into bed, as coming off from the bench, Jude Jacob Sunsop Bell. A brace from him gives Thailand a big win here in Colombo. That's your stats for the game. Sri Lanka with 9 shots and just the 2 on target. On the other hand, Thailand with 10 shots and 6 on target, 4 converted as well, and that will well and surely pay dividends come that final match day of this AFC Asian Cup Qualifiers third round. And then Sri Lanka conceded 8 fouls to Thailand's 11 fouls in their own half. Thailand with 6 and Sri Lanka with 2. Thailand had 4 back-to-back corners, but throughout the game they just had 5, and Sri Lanka with just the 3, who just couldn't find anything from those set pieces. And 3 yellow cards were given out for Thailand, and just the 1 yellow card in Jason Thayaparan for Sri Lanka. Nothing to speak of from the red cards column, but it was a game where the officials had their fair share but a smooth sailing 90 minutes for the referees as well. As the lights come on here at the Racecourse Stadium, Sri Lanka will really go back and think what went wrong as they suffer their biggest defeat in this AFC Asian Cup Qualifiers campaign at the expense of Thailand. Sri Lanka team appreciating the crowd out here. It was a good crowd in from the home team, but a special mention out to the visiting crowd as well. They will and surely enjoy the island nation here, and haven't their team just really paid them off. Thailand will enjoy more of Sri Lanka in the days to come, as they will be eagerly watching on that game later on tonight as Turkmenistan take on Chinese Taipei. Yet another important game for Turkmenistan. They need a win here as Thailand have won quite massively here in Colombo. Families from the Sri Lankan team as well have come out here. President Jaswar can be proud how his Sri Lankan troops have done throughout this campaign. Their home matches come to an end with 2 wins and 1 loss against the 96th ranked Thailand team. Thailand, this crowd will be happy and quite joyful as the night goes on here in Colombo. We have the post-match interview down there. Over to you.
So Sabal, congratulations first of all on the win. Y'all, this was a must-win game for y'all. An early goal helped, and just tell us about the whole 90 minutes. Y'all had a good second half as well, but just tell us your overall performance as a team in the first and the second half.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, going into this game, there was a lot of pressure, you know, from the fans, from the team, from the manager. We have a new manager as well, so you know we're adapting to his play style at the moment. And I thought the boys did well today in the first half. You know, Sri Lanka came out pressing and they made it difficult for us. I think we adapted well to the game. And in the second half, I think the subs changed the game as well, but it was an all good round, all good team performance all round. So,
what changed for y'all in the second half? Yes, y'all were leading 1-0 at the halftime break. What changed for y'all?
I think the manager's tactics. You know, they started with 3 at the back, and you know we've been training for to play 4 at the back. So the game plan had to change quickly, and the boys didn't get it at first, but at half-time the manager adapted and we got it well. So,
thank you, and all the best for the next games. Congratulations.
That was a player of the match who came on in that second half and had a brace. Jacob Sunsombel playing his football in Grimsby Town. He'll be a proud young man to get his name sheet on the score. Get his name on the score sheet, and to wrap things up here from Colombo, it's a pleasant evening out here as we say a goodbye from all of us.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, ThePapare.
3, 2, 1, roll off.
ඉතින් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංකික ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව ThePapare සමග.
Welcome back to ThePapare.
Welcome to the live broadcast on ThePapare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
ThePapare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.